When the Norfolk and Western Railroad was formed, its primary economic mission was to transport bituminous coal from the collieries in mountainous West Virginia to markets beyond the Ohio River and along the Atlantic seaboard. However, with rugged terrain and many geographic obstacles to be surmounted, this major trunkline railroad faced quite a challenge. Construction of the former N&W line through the Appalachian mountain country of West Virginia was hard work, done by hard men to meet the needs of a growing nation. The resulting line is scenic, often breathtaking as it passes through miles of thick green trees, narrow cuts through lush river valleys, and tunnels, deep, dark bores drilled through miles of solid rock. Most of the tunnels were dug through the mountains during the 1920s and 30s, when coal was king and America's primary source of power. In the fall of 1989, Berkshire Productions traveled with Neff Video into the wild mountains and coal country of West Virginia for a look at today's world of modern high-tech railroading on the Norfolk Southern's Pocahontas division between Bluefield and Williamson, West Virginia. Beautiful scenery, tunnels, grades, and trestles, plus lots of freight action on this busy main line provide the modern diesel enthusiast and contemporary fan with plenty of enjoyment. Bluefield, West Virginia is the eastern terminus of the Pocahontas Division and the Pocahontas District. The town has a colorful reputation as a rough and ready rail town, and many reminders of the region's history are still visible, such as this old coal tipple. Many of Bluefield's local residents work for the railroad today, just as their forefathers did in years gone by. They remember stories told by parents and grandparents of the Bluefield station bustling with hard-working, hard-living railroad men, and the lure of faraway cities like St. Louis, Chicago, New York, and Boston. There are those who think that gold is yellow, but these folks and their neighbors remember when coal was king, and the color of West Virginia gold was the deepest black. With Bluefield being a major division point on the Norfolk Southern system, quite a bit of activity takes place here. Car shops for car repair and a locomotive shop for diesel work, plus yard activity account for railroad action seen today. As a ground crew rolls up power lines from an overnight director's special, Norfolk Southern's westbound time freight number 195 arrives in Bluefield. After a brief stop for a crew change, 195 will be underway once again, passing through forested mountains and hidden country hollers. 11 miles west of Bluefield at Bramwell is Cooper Tunnel. Built in 1902, Cooper Tunnel is a relatively short tunnel at 698 feet. Located between milepost 374 and 375, Cooper Tunnel is the site of the Pocahontas Division's ruling westbound grade. At 0.87% for just under a mile, this grade provides westbound trains a formidable challenge. Exiting westbound from Cooper, trains cross over the Bluestone extension and continue their climb on a curved trestle. The Bluestone extension is a secondary line, which leaves the main just east of Cooper Tunnel at Bluestone Junction. Contrary to the westbound climb, eastbound freights find the going easy at Cooper Tunnel as they drift downgrade under dynamic braking and plunge into the bore. Just west of Cooper Tunnel is Elkhorn Tunnel. Built in 1950, Elkhorn is the longest tunnel on the N&W's main line. It is 7,107 feet long, and its bore penetrates Flat Top Mountain between mileposts 375 and 377. Named after the grade for which it sits atop, Elkhorn Tunnel replaced a shorter single-track tunnel at a higher altitude. During the days of steam, this shorter tunnel could not be ventilated properly, and its narrow clearances made for pure hell for the locomotive crews, thus necessitating electrification of the line until the new tunnel was built. The old tunnel lies about a half a mile from here, and the contractor who built it earned extra money during its construction because it was drilled through Pocahontas coal seam number 3. This was the second most important seam in the history of West Virginia mining. The Elkhorn grade begins at the confluence of Elkhorn Creek with the Tug Fork of the Big Sandy near Welch and continues for about 18 miles to near the head of this creek before tunneling under Great Flat Top Mountain. The grade is long and steep, being 1.4% for 9 miles near the top. Between Kimball, near the bottom of the grade, and the west portal of Elkhorn Tunnel was some of the most exciting action during the days of steam on the Norfolk and Western. At Maybury, West Virginia, the Norfolk Southern crosses Elkhorn Creek and U.S. Highway 52 on a through-truss bridge. 8 miles west of Maybury is North Fork, West Virginia. Located at milepost 386 on the railroad, North Fork is at the junction of Elkhorn Creek with the North Fork River. The main line of the N&W's Pocahontas division bisects the business district here. Although many of North Fork's buildings sit empty and are in a state of disrepair, their doors and windows still rattle and shake as each passing train rumbles down Main Street. At Vivian Tunnel in Kimball, westbound train number 195 is underway once again. 195's crew had stopped their train per the dispatcher's orders to check for a possible hotbox. Just under 3 miles west of Kimball is Big Four Tunnel number 2. This is the second of 2 Big Four tunnels, the first being 1 mile to the east. Here we see Norfolk Southern number 1358, slug number 9720, and Southern number 5320, westbound with a caboose. West of Big Four number 2 and just around the bend are the twin bores of Huger Twin Tunnels. These concrete bores are 362 feet long and are located at milepost 395.5. U.S. Highway 52 runs over top of the tunnels. A 3-unit westbound helper set drifts downgrade around the bend and into the tunnel. This 3-unit set includes Norfolk Southern units number 8011, 8012, and 1637. With the first helper set west of Huger, a second 3-unit helper set proceeds west into the tunnel. This set includes numbers 6088, 1640, and 3251. With helper set numbers 1637, 8012, and 8011 shoving on the rear, Norfolk Southern units 8517 and 8561 advance an eastbound coal drag upgrade out of Huger Twin. 1.6 miles west of Welch, West Virginia, the seat of McDowell County on the Tug Fork, is Farm, West Virginia. During the days of steam, Farm was a coaling station for the locomotives, and today the coal tipple stands a silent reminder. Tracks here include 2 mainline and 2 set-off tracks for reducing tonnage on the climb for Elkhorn Mountain. This was also a helper station for the heavy trains of yesterday, and today this tradition continues, as many of the eastbound trains get help here for the climb to the top. West of Farm, 8586 and 8590 lead this eastbound coal drag upgrade over N&W's most interesting division, the Pocahontas. Pushers 3210, 3171, and 8073 are leaning into the train on the rear. Looking down from Davie Road, two Norfolk Southern U-boats head another coal drag eastbound. The train will cross Tug Fork and enter the west portal of Antler Tunnel number 2, just below our vantage point. Ex-Southern number 3500, leased Southern Pacific number 7351, and NS number 3211 are assisting on the rear. Davie, West Virginia is a quiet little town located at milepost 407 on the N&W's Pocahontas Division. Like many Appalachian towns in the Tug Valley coal country, the silence and solitude of the surroundings is broken only by the passing trains. Tunnels abound on the N&W, and 20 of these hollow conduits bear the rails between Bluefield and Williamson, West Virginia. Twin branch tunnels number 1 and 2 are located 1 mile west of Davie, and Norfolk Southern Diesels 8845 and 8566 escort another load of coal through the bores. The town of Roderfield, West Virginia, lies along the banks of the Tug Fork between Welch and Yeager, and is the halfway point on the line at milepost 412.6. The Pokey is a busy railroad, as witnessed by these 2 eastbound freights exiting Roderfield Tunnel together. As they pick up speed passing our vantage point, they will plunge into Vaughan Tunnel on their run towards Bluefield. At the west end of Roderfield Tunnel, the track glides out of the tunnel and crosses a bridge over the Tug Fork. Not only is this a scenic spot on the N&W, but it's also a good place to watch trains. Gordon Tunnel sits at milepost 416 and was built in 1909. With a length of 1,271 feet, it is one of the longer bores on the line. U.S. Highway 52 passes under bridges at both the east and west portals of this tunnel. As a Norfolk Southern track gang prepares to go to work at Gordon, 6510 and 8604 pull pigs and containers west. With the westbound clear, the track gang goes to work on the eastbound rails. After a short time, their progress is slowed as they clear up for another westbound exiting the tunnel. The steep hills of the Appalachian Plateau provide a beautiful, cozy setting for the town of Yeager. 59 miles from Bluefield and 48 miles from Williamson, Yeager's little Auville engine terminal was home to many of the 2882s that powered freights over the mountainous Pocahontas division back in the days of steam. While the steam trains have vanished from Yeager, the town still sees a lot of railroad action in modern times. "39 miles west of Yeager sits the coal mining town of Matewan, site of a deadly gun battle between Union miners and coal company thugs. In 1920, area miners went on strike to gain recognition of the United Mine Workers of America. On May 19th of that same year, 12 Baldwin Felts agents came from Bluefield to evict the miners from company-owned houses. As the agents left town, they argued with Police Chief Sid Hatfield and Mayor Testerman. Shooting of undetermined origins resulted in the deaths of 2 coal miners, 7 agents, and the mayor. None of the 19 men indicted for the gun battle were ever convicted. The Norfolk Southern Main Line passes through town just north of the business district on a sweeping horseshoe curve. After a westbound mine shifter passes through town, track inspectors in a high rail truck stop to tighten rail joints. With the track work completed, the high railer moves east, clearing up for a westbound hopper train. Mingo County was the home to the famous feuding families, the Hatfields and the McCoys. And 1 mile west of Matewan at Sprigg are twin tunnel bores named after the Hatfields. The railroad crosses the Tug River on 2 through-truss bridges, just prior to entering the east portals, and exits to the west, crossing over the same river. With plenty of power on the head end, a westbound TOFC-COFC proceeds around the curve and enters Hatfield Twin. Shortly after the trailers and containers comes a 7-unit westbound power shuffle. With lots of freight ready to come east, the power was sent to Williamson. At the west portals of Hatfield Twin Tunnels, we see a mine job moving its coal west for Williamson and classification. Williamson, West Virginia is the western terminus of the N&W's Pocahontas Division, Pocahontas District. Located deep in the mountains of Mingo County along the Kentucky border, Williamson is a place whose very lifeblood is tied to the railroad and surrounding coal mines. Here, at one time, the railway maintained the largest coal marshaling yards in the world, a roundhouse, and supporting shop facilities. N&W born and bred, Williamson, West Virginia was the last bastion of big-time steam in the United States. Today, the modern high-tech machines that sent the steamers to their graves continue railroading tradition within the steep hillsides of the Appalachian Plateau. Housing the Tug Valley Chamber of Commerce is the Williamson Coal House. This building was constructed of Winifred seam coal in 1933 and is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Heart of the billion-dollar coal field, an all West Virginia city and a bicentennial community, Williamson is like many West Virginia towns. Poor in terms of capital and economy, but rich in coal deposits and friendly down-home people. At milepost 470, we leave the Pocahontas district and enter the Pocahontas Division's Canova district. From here, the line heads for the Ohio River and out of the heart of coal mining country. Although the sign on the flood wall at Williamson Tunnel says, "Welcome to Williamson," we must say goodbye. Goodbye to the pastel greens of the Appalachian hillsides and the twisting, turning vistas of the Tug Valley. Williamson, West Virginia, and the Pokey. Now there's a railroad town and a railroad division.